One, two, one, two, three, yeah.
All right, welcome to episode 3 of the No Cap Sports Podcast. Today I'm joined by Carter. What's up? What's up?
What's up?
And later on, Jack Steinberg will join the podcast to talk NFC football. But right now, we're going to start the podcast with some good news. Carter, what do you have on the MLB?
On the MLB, I have everyone saying they're gonna try and come back July 1st. Some things that might happen: 82 game season with only 10 rest days. That's a good thing that they shorten it, but 10 rest days, to me that's a little bad for the players. But due to that, they have a roster size expanded to 30. And then for playoffs, there's 14 playoff teams, 7 on each side. That's all
Okay.
I've heard on MLB so far.
I heard that the owners have approved it. Now it's being sent to the union. So I'm sure there'll be a little bit of negotiation, but hopefully they'll be able to get back and playing. On the NBA, speaking of getting back to playing, the NBA did a poll, like the NBA office did a poll with league players asking if they were in favor of returning this season, and it was overwhelmingly yes. So those excited to hopefully have NBA basketball. That's a good sign. They're looking to also come back soon, and with the players being in support, that's a good sign. I mean, that's good news. So NBA and MLB hopefully coming back soon, and we'll jump over to our NFC record predictions right now. All right, let's start with NFC record predictions. I'm with Carter and Jack. How's it going?
What up, what up?
Hello?
I think we should just jump right into the best division in football because the Vikings are in it, the NFC North.
Absolutely.
I'll start. I have the Vikings, no bias, going 11-5, winning the division. After that, unfortunately, I have the Packers going 10-6, and unfortunately getting the 7th seed, the Bums. Third in the division, I have the Bears going 8-8 just because of their defense. And fourth, I have the Lions going 3-13 because Matt Patricia doesn't know how to coach.
All right. At the number 2 seed, I have the Vikings. Number 1 at they got them at the helm. They'll win the division with a 12-4 record, and the Packers will get the 7th seed as well with a 10-6 record. The Lions will just miss the playoffs with an 8-8 record, even with this new wild card change. And the Bears are definitely going to miss the playoffs with a 5-11 record.
At the top of my helm, I have Minnesota, 12-4. And then the next, I have Green Bay at 11-5. I think that's going to come down to the last 2 weeks, like usual, between these two. And then surprising for some people, I have Detroit going 8-8. And then for Chicago, I have 6-10.
I mean, it's really a battle between Vikings and Packers for who's the best, and the Bears and Lions for who sucks the most, really, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Maybe
the Lions lower just because Matt Patricia's an idiot who has a pencil for a laminated sheet of paper.
right. I think maybe there is a chance that if the Lions or the Bears pull something out of their keister next year, they might be able to do something. They might be able to clinch a wild card, but there's no way they're going to win the division.
No, heck no.
And I mean, the key between the Vikings and Packers, which is the more important, who's better there, is injuries. Because if like Dalvin Cook gets hurt for the Vikings, they're not winning the division. If Aaron Rodgers gets hurt for the Packers, they're not winning the division. It's really a battle of who can stay healthy, if you ask me.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the
And
south.
I also think for that, I think it's who can win at home.
Yeah, you're gonna have to win at home. You can't
You
be
can't.
like last year where we scored like how many points against the Packers at home on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I don't even think we had 9 first downs or something.
Yeah, it was the worst offensive game plan ever, and just single-handedly prevented Kevin Stefanski from getting a head coaching job in the NFL.
Yeah, that was bad.
And if I pull it up real quick, we scored 10 points on them at home.
How many first downs?
I can't pull it up right now. Anyways, like Jack was saying, we should move on to the South. Jack, you want to start us off?
Oh, sure. At the number 3 seed, I have the Buccaneers winning the division with a 11-5 record. At the number 6, the Saints will clinch the wild card with a 10-6 record. And the two oddballs, you got the Falcons at 5-11, and the Panthers, the rebuilding project, at 4-12.
All right, I have the Saints winning the division. Unfortunately, I hate them. I hate their coach. He's an idiot. They have a 12-4 record and have the 2nd seed. In the wild card, they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 6th seed, going 10-6. I think there might be some chemistry issues to start the year, but they'll probably pull it together at the end and be able to make a big playoff push. And the 3rd place for the division and out of the playoffs, obviously, I have the Carolina Panthers going 7-9. I really trust their new head coach and Matt Rule. I think that was a great hire. I like what he's doing with their defense, where he drafted like all defense, I'm pretty sure. He's a good coach, and I think he's really building something there, and it'll be looking good going into next year with, maybe Drew Brees retiring. You never know. But Carolinas are still rebuilding, though. And the Falcons are bottom for me. I'm going 5-11. Unlike the Carolina Panthers, who realized they had to rebuild, the Falcons have not realized that yet and are going to be getting worse and worse every single year, still paying a crazy amount of salary to a terrible team.
Yeah, I basically have the same. I have at number 1, I have Tampa Bay going 11-5. I think they can pull it together. Maybe not at the beginning, but Tom Brady just has too many weapons to throw the ball to. And then I have the Corona coach. I have Sean Payton and his Saints going 9-7. And then next I have Carolina. I have them going 7-9. I really think that they got a great hire of Matt Rule. And then for Atlanta, I have them going 5-11. I think they got rid of Desmond Trufant and they tried getting a corner in the first round, but I feel like they reached too far.
All right, I like it.
So,
Really the debate is between the Saints and the Buccaneers this year.
Yeah.
And I feel, as much as I hate them, the Saints had a great offseason. They brought in Emmanuel Sanders, and they brought Malcolm Jenkins back. They brought him back. And they also drafted the best interior offensive lineman in the draft this year. So that's 3 big additions, and they really didn't lose anyone besides Teddy, who's their backup. So really great offseason for them.
And plus they have Taysom Hill anyway, so they don't even need Teddy as the backup.
Yeah.
They don't even need Breeze.
Right.
And you pay enough money, you can win yourself any Super Bowl.
That's right. That's a big market. All right, should we head to the East then?
Yeah, the arguably worst division in football this year.
Right.
Besides, actually, both East, AFC and NFC. But for the NFC, definitely the worst. I have the Cowboys pulling out the division at an ugly 9-7. I just feel that the Eagles are going to get hit by injuries again. Carson Wentz. I like Carson Wentz, but he's probably going to get in. He just always gets injured, and that's just what I'm predicting. Eagles get injured. Cowboys win at 9-7. And then behind them, I have the Eagles going 8-8, not making the playoffs. I mean, injuries have dominated the team, and they're not getting. Except for Carson, they're really not getting any younger. So, Eagles 8-8. Giants, I have them saying at 4-12. It's a rebuild. They got their quarterback, hopefully for them, but besides that, they don't have much going on. And then at the bottom of the NFC, I have the Redskins, aka the Deadskins, going 3-13. I have to run Rivera higher, but I do not believe Dwayne Haskins is going to be their quarterback of the future. He just really doesn't impress me, and not much else going on that team at all.
Right. And at the number top spot, I have the Eagles pulling out the division with a 10-6 record. I just feel if they stay healthy, they will win this division. On the other hand, though, I have the Cowboys right or below them at a 6-10 record, which I think they will get injured this year. That offensive line just if one of them falls, then I feel there's just the whole team will just crumble beneath them. Dak is not good enough to win without a good offensive line and good weapons. And even if one of his wide receivers gets hurt, who are you going to put in there that Dak can, I don't know, comfortably throw to? And for the Giants, I have them at 5-11, and the Redskins at the measly 4-12.
Yeah, mine's basically the same. Around, I have Dallas at the top at a little bit shocking. I have them at 10-6, and then I have Philly at 9-7, and then next I got the Giants 5-11, and then I have Washington at a brutal 3-13.
Do you have the Eagles making the playoffs at 9-7?
Me?
Yeah, let's see. Are they?
Yeah, they're 8.
Okay, so they're not making the playoffs then.
Or 7, I mean, yeah.
Wait, what are they? Are they making the playoffs or no?
Yeah, it's green, so they are.
Okay, I have them not making the playoffs at 8-8. So, I mean, this last year was the worst division in football, and it might be again just because you have 2 rebuilding teams and you have 1 injury-ridden team. Last year, I think it was the same argument between Dallas and the Eagles. It was like, oh, is Carson going to stay healthy? And I thought he was, and they would win the division because of it. So this year, I'm going the opposite. I think he's going to get hurt, and the Cowboys are going to win it. So,
Oh, mistake. Saints got in above them at 9-7.
who did?
The Saints, it's like, I
Oh,
don't know.
the Saints you had
Both
10-6. So,
green.
yeah, the Saints will get in above them then.
They're both 9-7, and it both says they're green. So I don't know.
Oh, it'd be some weird tiebreaker or something.
Division win.
Yeah, it'd be up to weird stuff. So, whatever. I think we should just move on to the West, which is probably going to be the best division in football this year.
This is
Running
my
that much.
comment.
It's a division, Carter.
We'll start out with at the top, Kyler Murray leading Arizona
God.
Cardinals to a West championship at 12-4. Next, San Fran.
Made it to the Super Bowl.
Wait,
Wait, did you say they were 12-4?
Yeah, 12-4.
Okay, that's a little better than in the pre-show where you said they were in 14-2.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a year for them to break out. They have a last place schedule. I'm pretty sure they play the South, which is Carolina and Falcons aren't very good. I had them going 6-10, but I mean they're really, if you ask me, there's 8 teams in the NFC that are like genuine playoff contenders. You have the Vikings, Packers, Saints, Bucks, Cowboys, Eagles, and 49ers, Seahawks, and then you have a bunch of rebuilding teams that aren't very good, and then the Cardinals, who are like the biggest wild card. You guys agree with me on that? Where like they're the only wild card team, if you ask me.
Maybe some team could pull something around this year. I think Detroit could honestly be one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's if one of the top dogs gets injured, though.
Yeah, that's a big what if though. I mean, Carter, you should go through and finish your rest of your division first.
I got San Fran at 11-5. I mean, their defense definitely is up there for sure, but I don't think they can carry for so long. And then I got Seattle next at 8-6. I didn't really.
8-6. How?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Russell. He's definitely he's really good, but the rest of his team won't follow with him. I don't think. And then
Wait, what record did you have them at?
8-6.
That's 2 games short.
Do I need to help you like I normally do with math, Carter?
8-8. My bad. Jeez.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I was thinking of, and then I got LA at 6-10.
All right, I have the Niners going back and winning the division again at 13-3. I mean, Their defense is really good. They had a good offseason. They traded DeForest Buckner for a first round number 13 overall pick where they stuck in Javon Kinlaw, who's more or less their DeForest Buckner replacement. So they got pretty good value on the cheaper contract. That's the big thing. They stay out of luck. They don't go over the cap because of this. And they also drafted a wide receiver and they traded, didn't they? What did they do at 31 this year?
They traded it with us.
They trade up to draft. What did they draft?
Oh yeah, they traded with us though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I'm trying to remember who they
31.
drafted. They did trade. They did trade up.
Ayuk or whatever. Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, they did. And that's a big get. Wide receiver help always helps. But yeah, I have the Niners going 13-3 winning division. Second division, I have the Seahawks going 11-5. They get the 5th seed in the playoffs, so the first wild card. I mean, they have Russell Wilson. What else do you need? He's probably the second best quarterback in the league right now behind Mahomes. So that's a whole other debate.
Ooh.
Who do you have second in the division?
Seahawks going 11-5.
Okay.
Then I have the Rams third going 8-8. They have a couple top tier guys for talent. They have Aaron Donald, who's probably the best defensive player in the league. But other than that, they're just not that good. They have the good coach, but they're in, like I was saying with the Niners, where they got out of salary cap hell by trading away DeForest Buckner. The Rams did not do that, and now they are in salary cap hell, where they have to trade Brendan Cooks for like a 3rd round pick. And bottom of the division, I'm sorry, Carter. I have the Cardinals going 6-10. I believe they will. On the records, they may not look as good, but I feel like they're going to be taking a big step forward just with the eye test. They're going to be looking good going into next year.
I sure hope they pull it off this year, but I know they will in the future, but I don't know. It might not be this year, but I'm sure hoping it will be, and I think it will.
Has Larry Fitzgerald retired yet, or is he still?
No, he is not. He's still playing.
Nice. All right, and
Kyler's just going to take a huge step forward.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Jack, what do you have?
all right, at the number 1 seed in the West, I have the 49ers at a 13-3 record. They got Garoppolo. He's probably the most, I could say he's a above average quarterback in the NFL, but he is not good enough to bring this team to a Super Bowl championship. I mean, the team around him might be able to, but I feel like Garoppolo, he'll be a good regular season quarterback. It's just in crunch time, I feel he won't be too good. And at number 5 for the seeds, I have the Seahawks going in at number 2 with the 11-5. Yeah, Russell Wilson, he is very good. And I mean, he got them there last year into the playoffs without, any help around him really. He had a couple injured running backs, a couple wide receivers, and that's about it. And I have the Rams at 7-9, missing out on the playoffs. And yeah, they lost their running back when Todd Gurley, which hurt a little bit, maybe sent them about 1 game back, but they're not really a playoff team yet. And the Cardinals at the bottom with another 7-9 record. So overall, this division, it's any of these teams could come back to be a wild card team, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
They just
more getting hot at the right time,
Right.
So generally, it sounds like we have the 49ers as the 1 seed, probably the Bucks. I had the Saints, but you guys had the Bucks at the 2, Vikings at the 3. Carter, who you have, the boys or the Eagles winning the division?
Boys.
Okay, so the boys at the 4 seed, Seahawks at the 5, Saints at the 6, and then Packers at the 7. That's generally how we have the playoff set up.
I have the Vikings at the 2 and the Bucks at the 3.
Yeah, but what do you have, Carter? You have the Bucks at 2, right?
I got Bucks at 3.
Oh, okay, so flip those 2 around. So whatever.
But I got Minnesota 2, and then, I have Minnesota 1, and then I have.
Okay, okay. Well,
No,
you guys get what I mean, though. That's
Arizona.
generally the playoffs seeing something like that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being on the show today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
We'll have you
Any-
back next week to do AFC. Make sure to tune in for that.
Don't miss out.
Yep. So make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, make sure to hit the follow and make sure to tune in next week for AFC playoff predictions.
And tell them who you is. Yo, it's 1, 2. Come over here. You tell them too.
Yo, it's 1-4.